Hi, I'm Rasheed Ogunlaru, coach, speaker, and author of Soul Trader, Putting Heart Back into Your Business. And welcome to this, the latest The Soul Trader podcast. If you're listening to it, it's also my latest Soul Trader video if you happen to be watching it here. And my theme today is about three things: letting go, letting be, and letting in. I happen to be recording this at the beginning or early on in the start of a new year. And so very often when we are at that point of the turn of a year or a change of a year, and of course you can be listening to this at any time of the year, but it's often very clear and pronounced that toward the end of the year or start of the year, there may well be things that we're wanting to let go of and things that letting in. So for example, at the end of the year, we might be clearing things out. At the beginning of the new year, we have new hopes and more new priorities and new things that we're wanting to do. And hence that letting go, letting in, okay? Is part of life, but also is that thing about letting be, the acceptance. So that's why today I'm looking at these particular three themes: letting go, letting be, and letting in. Now, there'll be certain times, depending on the nature of your business, what it is that you do, where this may well be very, 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 very relevant, because for you at certain times in the year, you might need to be letting go of certain information, you might need to statutorily let go of certain information, or you might be needing to let new things in, you might have a new intake and so on. So I'm going to go through all of these particular themes and just talk a little bit about them. And just bring it to life a little bit. The first thing is letting go. Now, letting go is really interesting. What do I mean by that? What does that even conjure up for you? Are there things that you need to let go of right now, emotionally, practically? Maybe it is that you're holding on to loads and loads and loads of files and there's no space. You need to let go maybe of old files, old documents, and so on. I, at the end of every year, have a clear out, and I sometimes do that at certain seasons as well. Is it the things that you need to let go of? So are the things that physically you need to let go of all of those old records? Interestingly, there might be from compliance point of view. In some cases, there are certain documents that you might need to let go of at a certain point of view. Of course, be mindful of the things that you're going to need to keep. So, for example, here in the UK, where this has been, where I record this from, financial records need to be kept for 6 years. So I need to be keeping all that information for 6 years. But maybe you've got all sorts of information that you've been holding on for however long, and it could be causing you emotional and practical clutter. There might be things that you need to let go of. But equally, there may well be practical things. There might be clients, old stock. There might be all sorts of things that you actually need to let go of. So I really want you to pause and think, what are the things that I need to let go of practically, emotionally? Are the particular challenges in this business? Okay, it might be that we need to let go of, we were producing this product or this particular service, it's not working for us anymore. What are the things that you need to let go of? And while I prompt you with these questions right now, it might be something that you're wanting to sit with over the hours ahead, over the days ahead, over the weeks ahead. Just what are the things that I need to let go of? I have a saying that you can't pour more water into a full cup without causing a spillage. So there are going to be some things that you're going to need to let go of. And maybe some things are just causing all sorts of problems and headaches for you. They might not be right for you or right for your business. And it's not unusual. Certain clients, certain projects. I was working with a client the other day, a contact of mine who's been on some programs I've been running. We've been developing and had funding for a particular program, but there doesn't seem to be a readiness in some places for that. So we're realizing that that might be something that we might need to let go of. And we've kind of had a discussion about that. So letting go. Who, what do you need to let go of? And again, it's like that breath out. Next, so that's the letting go, right? We talked about letting go. What about letting be? By the way, there might be a little bit of a crossover in your mind between some of these things, the letting go and the letting be. For me, the letting be is all about acceptance. And so let me give you an example of what we might need to let be. It might be that I'm at that point where I'm recognizing, yeah, there are certain things that I let go of, and there are certain things that are coming up as priorities. But it means that I have to kind of accept other things. So let's imagine that we're wanting to introduce a new strand of work or a new product line or a new, it could be something, anything that we're wanting to prioritize. But it might well be at that particular time that I might need to accept there are certain bits of my website that I might need to kind of just let be because it may not be that priority. So it might be I'm going out far more to be going out to be doing far more networking and meeting, having those client meetings because it might be the immediate way to you a new business. I'm wanting to update my website, but actually I've realized that actually these client meetings actually could immediately with the existing clients could be far more valuable and have an impact than the website update at this particular point. So I'm going to let that thing be. But there might be all sorts of other things you need to let be and just accept. So I want you to sit with that. What are the things that you need to just let be? It can be quite a deep thing. You might think, okay, in terms of my family, I just need to let them be. I need to let this be. It's a bit like, sometimes when it comes to parenting or certain sibling relationships, you realize, okay, let me just let that be, let it be, let it be. It's that acceptance, the acknowledgement. Then the third, and remember there can be a crossover between kind of letting go and letting be. So it might be nuanced for you. And then the third one is letting in. So we've talked about the things that I might need to let go of, the things, the people, maybe your piece of work, clients, contacts, files, whatever, materials, mindfully. Okay. And then we've talked about the things letting be, and that might just be a moment for this season, for this time, for this week. I need to just accept this. It might even be a conversation that you're wanting to have with somebody, but you realize actually right now might not be the right moment for that. So let me just pause and breathe with this. It can be a press pause thing, that letting be. And then the third one is letting in. So we've talked about the breathing out and that pause moment. And then there's that breathing in. And the thing about the breathing in, the letting in, is that this is very powerful and it is very, very, very profound because the breathing in is the inspire, right? So the breathing out, the letting go is the expire, things that may well have expired, things that may have already seen their course, run their course. The old ideas, the old footage, the old contacts, the old this, the old that, the letting it go, and then the letting it be. And there's and now we're into this letting it in. And there's a link because I have a saying that we can't pour more water into a full cup without causing a spillage. So it might be I've got to do the letting go before I can do the letting in. So it might be that you're at a point where there's all sorts of new things that you're wanting to happen, but because there's so much clutter, because there's so much mental, emotional, practical, physical clutter in the shop, in the store, in your mind, on your website, in terms of the things that you're wanting to do, in terms of your timetable, in terms of your commitments, it's not possible to let things in. So it might well be that you've got to do the letting go piece first. And the letting be, here I am. And the letting be might be acknowledgement, I need help, I need support. So there is a link between these and why the letting go, the letting be, and the letting in. And the letting in might be all sorts of things. It might be wanting some new inspiration. That's kind of that gets a picture of myself. That's lost on anyone who's audio here. So it might well be this card that I've just pulled out of this jar, this gratitude jar, is, oh, this one is so apt. I've just pulled out a card, and this card is chapter 4 of the book, which is all about cooperation. So it might well be, I am stuck. I'm stuck on certain things, and I need other people's help. I need to begin to build a team, or I need to think about my support network. Maybe there's things that's missing in my support network. I need to let that in. Let's just see. I'm going to pull another thing from this jar and see what happens. This one is about the last chapter of the book, which is about change. Maybe there's things that I need to change up. What are the things that I could change and so on? I'm just going to pull one more out because we like things in threes. This one also was about cooperation. So again, there can be so many things in cooperation. I'll just pull out a third thing. Okay, the third one I pulled out was actually chapter 3 of the book, which is all about courage. Maybe I need to be courageous, more courageous about going out there, saying who we are, what the business is about, and so on. But these things about letting in might be all sorts of different things. Maybe I need to let in other people's opinions. Maybe I need to go out there and seek out advice. Maybe there's changes that's going on in terms of the industry. Maybe I need to let them in. Maybe that some of the ways that people are marketing, or new forms of social media, or new production methods, or there might be all sorts of things. Now, you may already be conscious of them, but it might well be that you need to do that, get that support or get that advice in order to think about what it is that I need to let in. So I hope that's useful. What I want to invite you to do is just spend some time with this. This thing about the letting go, the letting be, and letting in over the coming days, over the coming weeks. This might be, I happen to be recording this early on at the start of the year, but it might well be something that you might want to do at the end of every week. What things I need to let go of? What are the things I need to let be? What are the things I need to let in? Could be for you at the end of every project, could be for you for every month, could be for you seasonally in terms of the nature of your business. So I hope that's useful. Letting in, letting be, letting go. Hope you enjoy this, that you can enjoy the whole Soul Trader podcast series on the soul-trader.biz site, and there's lots more goodies as well. So from me, Rasheed Ogunlaru, I just want to thank you, and I hope to see you and engage with you, and for you to be able to hear me and engage with the Soul Trader Insights soon. And remember, with all of these things, that I think that one last tail thing I want to say to this is that with that letting in, there may well be about letting in that intuition, that inner tuition, your own instincts. It can be about, this stuff can be, as you sit with this over the coming days, months, it might well be stuff that might be way outside of the business. It might be letting in time for you, your well-being, the fitness. There could be all sorts of things that bubble up as you sit with this. Enjoy, wishing you all the best. Take good care. Lots of love from me, Rasheed.